Do you want to know the key to happiness on social media as a content creator? Because we know social media is one of the most amazing things, but also one of the most toxic things. And we have to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves on social media. I have a key for you. I'm giving you permission to do something that seems very common sense, but not a lot of people think about it, and even less people act on it. So while this is not the only key to happiness on social media, it is a really instrumental one in getting back a lot of your stress levels so you don't have to deal with nonsense on social. And that, my friend, is the block button. You have full permission when you see something you don't like or you don't want in your space to block that person. So if somebody's coming onto your content and leaving comments that are hurting you or your community, just block them. You don't need them coming back and causing more chaos. If you're scrolling through your feed and you see somebody who's just super toxic and you don't want that in your space and you don't want to see their content, just block them. If you see something that's just rubbing you the wrong way and you know if you continue to see them in the future, you're probably not going to love it, just block them. We put so much pressure on being open and not being mean and not blocking people. But really the healthiest thing that you can do for yourself and your community is to get negativity out of there. It doesn't even have to be something that's necessarily bad, but if it's causing you to not be happy, to suffer in some way, just remove that from your space. There's no reason that anybody should be coming into your space, be it scrolling through your feed or on your own content, that is making you feel bad or making you try to compare yourself to something or hurting your feelings or being mean or giving you negative thoughts. You don't need that stuff. So the block button is your best friend. Now, I have learned just to use the block button. I don't even ask questions anymore. Because I've learned for so many years what the different things are. I know if somebody's asking genuine questions. I know if somebody's trying to set things up. I know what's happening. So I don't ask a lot of questions. If I see something that's not going to work for me or my community, it's just an easy block. I don't stress about it anymore because I've done it for so long. But I recently realized I can do that in my email inbox too. So when people are asking me to do free work for like nothing in exchange, instant block. I used to just delete them and they would continue to show up in my inbox and cause me stress, waste my time. It was not a situation I wanted to be in. So now I just block them and I got so much time back. I got so much happiness back. The block button is definitely your best friend. And be wise about how you do it. Don't be a jerk about it. Don't go announce it to everybody. But if you see something that's just rubbing you the wrong way and you just don't want that person in your space, block them. You have full permission to block them. Nobody's going to know. They're not going to know. Nobody cares. Maintain your space the way that you want so that you have the good vibes when you are on social media. You control your own space. So if you are suffering on social media, if it's causing you anguish, if it is deteriorating your mental health, if it's making you feel sad or angry, you are doing something wrong because you're not protecting your space and you have to take that action to protect your space. It's up to you whether or not social media is the most wonderful, magical place on earth, which it actually is, or if it's this negative, toxic space that's making you compare yourself to other people, which is on you. You get to control that space. You control the narrative here. So the block button is elite. And when you learn how to use it, you change the scape of your social space. And you can make it a place that brings you happiness and joy, and you enjoy being on there, and you get to make new friends and do all the great stuff the way social media is supposed to be, the way that it is if you are smart enough to define your space, and gets you out of that toxic wormhole that it can be if you go down that path. Block. Use the block button. The more you use it, the better you're going to define your space and the better your experience is going to be. Follow along for more tips and tricks on how you can level up as an entrepreneur on social media to make sure you're living your best entrepreneur life while also still having a life. We'll see you then.